Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick it off. Welcome to the Gregson. Please give a warm welcome to the Compere for this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Jon Lee to the stage.
Hello, how are we all doing? Oh, awesome. So, we are the Comedy Society. We have a lovely set of acts for you tonight. We've got some stand-up routines, we've got some improv games, but I'm going to be comparing as well. And so yeah, I'm just going to be telling a few jokes. So firstly, I'd like to preface this by saying I might as well acknowledge the elephant in the room, that right now happening is a rather big event happening in the world right now. I might as well acknowledge it. That's right, it's fucking this gig. It's fucking this show. But yeah, there is a game on right now, of course. And I want to thank you all for coming out and seeing it. And I may as well say, when we planned this gig, when we designed the running order for it, we decided that it would be an hour and a half long, and that there would be a break in the middle, so you won't tell the difference. But the World Cup is on. It's national disappointment season. How far are we going to get to victory before inevitable defeat this time? You know what? Maybe I'm being too harsh though. Maybe I'm being too harsh in England. You know, maybe we will win against France. Maybe we'll even go on to win other games. Maybe we'll even win the cup. See, I told you there'd be jokes. But yeah, it's lovely to be performing here at the Gregson. It's lovely to see, so many people come out despite the game. I think that's because the Gregson has such a big community around it. I think it's, in a way, that means that the audience kind of come with the venue. And that's a really nice thing. And I think that's a really good thing for us to have for a gig. And I'm going to tell the Comedy Society Committee that we should do more gigs at venues where the audience come with the venue. I think we should do other gigs at venues like that, such as Lancaster Prison. But I've been thinking about words recently, lots of words. I've been thinking there aren't many words that begin with X. There's X-ray, of course, and there's that one word that we all know, that we were taught as children. We all know it. We all know which word I'm talking about. If we could all shout it out on the count of three, that would be grand. 1, 2, 3. Xenophobia. Only I know xenophobia. It must be because I was raised in home counties. So we are with the Comedy Society at Lancaster University. There's lots of societies at Lancaster Uni. There's the Folk Society. I wonder, do they have a set of rules? Do they have a constitution? Or is it just folklore? There's the Economic Society. They're quite a nice bunch. I wonder, when you join the Economic Society, do you purchase membership, or do you just buy a share in them? But yeah, Christmas is coming. Are we excited for Christmas? Yeah. Oh, baby, yeah. I actually like to think I'm quite a moral person when it comes to Christmas. I like to think I'm very ethical and selfless when it comes to Christmas. So much so that I'd actually like to demonstrate that to you all tonight. I'd like to prove it. And to prove it, I'd like to ask, could people in the audience please raise their hands if they have in mind anything that they would particularly like for Christmas? If you've got a gift idea for Christmas, raise your hand. Oh, I'm seeing some hands go up. Oh, brilliant. Oh, okay, I'm gonna pick on you, sir. What's your name?
Daniel.
Daniel. Well, nice to meet you. What would you like for Christmas?
It's a PlayStation game, but I'm alright now.
Oh, right. And what happens in this game?
I don't know. I'm trying.
That's nice.
That's a very angry man that's not as angry anymore.
But that's nice, that is nice. You know what I want for Christmas?
What do you want for Christmas?
Well, peace. But yeah, it's going to be the first Christmas without the Queen. Now, when it comes to Her Late Majesty, I think that she was actually a very selfless, hard-working and decent individual. You can say what you like about the monarchy and how it's a flawed institution, but I think the Queen was very good. So I'm not going to make any jokes about the death of the Queen tonight. Although, to be fair, she's not going to mind if I do. But I found it interesting how people would queue so long to walk past the Queen lying in state. I found that interesting. You know, people would queue 24 hours. They would queue, no sit-down meals, no nothing like that. Then at the end they get frisked by several burly men, and then they walk into a big room, past the Queen's coffin, and then, you know, they'd have several bayonets being pointed at them by umpteen armed guards. And all of this is part of a government-planned operation that's been planned since 2011, that's cost the taxpayer millions of pounds, more money than they, their children, their grandchildren, or their grandchildren's grandchildren will ever see in their lives. And then they walked out of this, and then some of these fucking people went round again. Like it's the fucking log flume at Disney World. Oh, jeez. However, I was looking at a BBC article the other day. It was on how to throw a Christmas party on a budget. It was, you know, to help with the cost of living crisis. And it had all these tips and ideas on how to save money on your Christmas party. And one of the ideas, it said, party like it's 1922. I thought, interesting. Well, I scrolled down and I found what it actually said. What it meant was party with no alcohol. Party like it's America under Prohibition in 1922. Yeah. But I thought, that's actually a really interesting idea. Party like it's the 1920s. That could be really fun, really nice. I had all sorts of ideas for this 1920s themed party. We could maybe dress up. We could maybe play some jazz. We could maybe even try dancing the Charleston. I thought that would be really nice. So I messaged all my friends, like, 1920s themed party, anyone down? Yes, I do have friends. Anyone down? 1920s themed party. But I got a really frigid response from everyone. Cold response. They messaged back saying they weren't down at all. I thought, bloody hell, just an idea. Something new, something different. In hindsight, the fact that one of my ideas was to totally eliminate gay rights for the evening. Anyway, guys, it's time for the first act of the evening. I would like to welcome to the stage, and I hope you can join me in welcoming, a lovely guy who's from the United States. He's come over to Britain for a term to study. So, if you could please join me in welcoming Mr. John Rosenberg.
I'm not gonna lie, there's a moment when I was jumping on stage where I genuinely thought I was gonna miss and trip and fall on my face. So I'm happy I didn't. But anyway, I hope everyone's had a good weekend so far. Weekends are fun. You know, you can have a lot of fun on weekends and get my good side. And walks out. Anyway, yeah, weekends are fun. So, you know, I've had some crazy weekends. Like there's this one weekend. This was months ago where I got super high accidentally, and it wouldn't be a problem. The issue is I started to pretend to be a Batman villain I made up. His name is the Questionnaire, and he's obsessed with this thing called an SAT. So an SAT is college entry test in the States. It's multiple choice, woo, American education. And yeah, so the Questionnaire it's just totally into the test. And what he would do is he would lock Batman in a high school classroom and force him to take the SAT. And for 2 hours of the night, all I did was act like this guy. Ooh, wobbly Windsors, Batman! It appears that you've ran into our testing arena! But Batman, what is this? What seats will you pick? Will it be seats 1 next to the open open window or you'll be attacked by a fine cool breeze and chilled like a packaged meat? Or will it be seat 2, where you will be barraged by little gumballs and feel the warmth from my buttocks? And then like literally it was just like on and off. Like, I was just doing this character, like not just enough, 2 hours. Like my friend, I was just sitting on the couch, like minding my own business. I think I was like looking at a wall or something. I don't know. Don't question how I spend my weekends. And my friend went through a breakup, so he's like, "Oh, John, I want to talk to you about the breakup I had. It's really rough. I'm going through it." And then, like the Manchurian Candidate, I just instantly snapped back into the questionnaire, looked at him, and went, "Look at you, whack, Batwing! It appears that you have I can't speak. Look at you, whack, Batwing! It appears you have fallen victim to distraction in our testing dojo. Roseanne! I hope you don't fall ill and get distracted and not be unable to answer the question of 2 + 2. And like I was eating like food for one. Your face of disgust. I just need to bring it up. Literally this was it. Thanks. No, but literally, it was just like constantly like doing this character. And I was like eating a meal, and I just started like, I hope your carrots aren't filled with GMOs during your lunch break. Like it was just so unfunny to the point where I didn't stop. Unlike what I'm going to do here, where I'm going to stop. So that's good. That's good. No, but that was fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I like comics and superheroes. I like reading those a lot. I guess it's because a lot of them are so oddly damaged and interesting. They all come on like such weird backstories, like Batman, like lost his parents, Superman, his whole planet blew up. Wonder Woman, I guess, she chose to work in a male-dominated field. So, pretty rough fall. And I just feel like, another interesting thing is so many stand-up comedians that or comedians that they also, have their own dark little things, they have anxiety and depression and all that. And I just feel like that must mean that superheroes should be able to do stand-up comedy and really well too. Phenomenal comedians, right? It's just it's just the next logical step. So I was like, what must that be like? We're gonna have superheroes doing stand-up comedy. Okay, we have a pretty big show tonight. We have several comics, but lining the stage. Oh, that was funny. We have several comics lining the stage for tonight. We're just going to get to it. So first, let's welcome the Invisible Woman doing pantomime. Invisible Woman. Nice one. That's smart. Wait. I guess you can make it. Alright, so we're just going to move on to our next act. We're going to welcome the good old, my favorite comedian, The Flash, to do a 30-minute set. So buckle up. It's going to be great. Let's welcome The Flash, everyone. I guess he was a little nervous, but that's all right. So we're just gonna go on to our next stand-up, our last one of the night. Personal favorite of mine. It's Ant-Man. So give a warm round of applause for Ant-Man, everybody. Oh, shit. Sorry, I forgot to lower it for him. My bad. Sorry, almost there. Good. You put gum on the stage. That's disgusting. Ant-Man will not be joining us this evening. And I just feel like, that's the bit. I don't know how to end it. But yeah, no, I just feel like that would be a really, really nice night. But yeah, comics are fun. I like Batman a lot. He's probably my favorite. What I like about Batman is, I don't know where he's going with that. Just the point is Batman's cool. And but there's this one thing that I was always wondering, like how different his origin would have been if he was Mormon. Like his the guy who killed his parents would come up to them and then like, "Freeze, Mr. Wayne, and Mrs. Wayne, and Mrs. Wayne, and Mrs. Wayne, and Mrs. And that just goes on for 4 hours and then it leaves." So, I feel like that would have been something. Like, yeah, religion's weird. Religion's super weird. Like, there's this one part of one religion that freaks me out. There's this one religion that believes that when you die, you go to heaven, you're met by 72 virgins, and you get to chill with them for all eternity. And I don't want that to be real, because I know I'll be an absolute letdown. Because if I was in their shoes, right, and I had to wait an eternity, and then I got like skinny Gumby, I'd be disappointed too. And it would just be like an eternity of them sitting me down and being like, "Oh, it's not you, it's me," and the whole shebang. And I don't see how, because I'm so great at relationship stuff. I have pickup lines actually, like these work 100% of the time. These pickup lines work, So if you guys want to use them, you can, because these are my perfect pickup lines. All right? Are you 1977 classic film Star Wars? Because I watch you all the time. Can I be the Godfather 1 to your Godfather 2? Because I'm a good companion and definitely on the watch list. Can I be your Leonardo da Vinci? Because I'm going to make you Mona Lisa. Are you a benign tumor? Yeah, wait, no, I mean that. Are you a harmless tumor? Because you're a benign out of 10. Hi, the name's Ed, as in erectile dysfunction. I'm a softie. Hey, are you Medusa? Because your hair be whack, but you make me hard as stone. But they're perfect. Obviously, they're perfect. It's not me, it's them. But life's weird. I've also learned some weird facts that I would love to share with you all, because they're so strange, and I just feel like I have to. I just learned that the length of someone's yawn is directly, it's a direct sign of the size of their brain. Sorry guys, I'm really tired. A snail, I learned, can actually sleep up to 3 years, even longer if dead. Also, I just learned this, this is kind of weird, because I didn't think people were this dumb, but apparently 7% of people think chocolate milk comes from brown cows. Meanwhile, the other 93% are wrong. They're just flat out incorrect. It does come from brown cows, baby. Koalas are cool. Apparently their fingerprints are really similar to humans, argued OJ's lawyer. It's so nice to know that made it to this side of the globe, He's still relevant. And that's what matters. Mulan, Disney's fun. I just learned that Mulan, the character Mulan, has the second highest amount of kills in any Disney movie. Meanwhile, coming in first is fan favorite Pocahontas character, Smallpox. I didn't do it. Also another fact I learned, on average, when you kiss someone, you use about 29 muscles. In other news, I have 29 underdeveloped muscles. But I also like history a lot. History's really cool. Because it's so weird, just like life and it's strange and whatever. Good side. Jack the Ripper is weird. And everyone said how he got the Ripper part of his name. My theory is because he was silent but deadly. That was funny. Boris Johnson's cool. He's a little more recent. Well, he's not cool. So apparently he was a really good musician. He was so good, in fact, he was nicknamed after an instrument, the lyre. I got you with something. And that's all that matters tonight. Hitler was weird, obviously. He sucks. Apparently he also hated squares. He was very anti-symmetric. Fancy stuff. Newton died of origin, just die version. It's because whenever he'd ask out a girl, they'd have the equal and opposite reactions. Like one person got that. And then, Jesus was weird. Yeah. Sorry. You know what? I don't think he was a fan of getting crucified. In fact, I think he was a little cross. Cough during the punchline. But that's my set. Thank you.
Rosenberg, everybody! Alright, okay. The score. Before I do a score update, the score is 1-0. However, I won't say who it's to. So yeah, okay. So we are now going to move into an improv game. So for this improv game, it's called Let's Make a Date. I'm going to, it's not Let's Make a Date, it's a game of interrogation. I do apologize. And for this improv game, I am going to need, so please welcome to the stage, John, Stefan, Iestyn, and Nikhil. Alright, smashing. Okay, so in this game, Iestyn here has committed a crime. However, he is not going to know where the crime took place, he's not going to know what he was holding when he committed the crime, and he's not going to know what the crime was itself. Those are three variables that we, as an audience, are going to decide for him. However, he is going to be guessing what those things are. So, while we're deciding those things for him, we need him to leave the room. Alright, and these are his interrogators. So, firstly, we need a location. Where did Iestyn commit this crime?
Mars.
Mars, Poundland. I like Mars. I like it. He committed the crime on Mars. Okay, what was he holding when he committed it?
A Mars bar.
A Mars bar?
A galaxy.
A galaxy? Shall we switch it up? Shall we?
A brick.
Milky Way.
Oh, is it too loud? Or something? Okay, not to worry. He was holding a brick, a Mars bar. Let's say he was holding a Mars bar. Okay. Grant. And finally, what was the crime itself?
Animal cruelty.
Animal cruelty?
Jaywalking.
Animal cruelty, jaywalking.
Set fire to a fireworks factory.
Oh. I think jaywalking. I like that one. Okay, so where was he when he committed the crime?
Mars.
What was he holding?
The Mars bar.
And finally, what was the crime itself?
Jaywalking.
Brilliant. Okay, so if we could all, on the count of 3, call Iestyn and come back in, that would be grand. So, 1, 2, 3.
Iestyn! Come back in!
Take it away, guys.
You really done it today. What have I done? You've screwed the
What have I done?
Not literally.
You know what you did.
I don't know what I've done.
You know it. You're gonna admit right now. I'm gonna admit.
Fine, okay.
Admit it!
Hit me.
Where were you?
Yes.
I don't know. I was in the park.
No,
it wasn't my
it was where you were. It was just absolutely
Out of this world.
I was on the moon.
No,
you liar. Where were you?
I was in Uranus.
No. You know what happened? You just had a little too much curiosity.
Oh, I was in a satellite. I was on the ISS.
I'm done with this kid.
I was in Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Right, on Mars.
Yes.
Fine, I was on Mars. What of it?
We know where you were, but what were you holding?
I was holding your mum.
That'd be crazy if that was your mom. Honestly, it looks like her though. Hey. just, what are you trying to get plump for the holidays or something? Think you're a little freak boy?
I had a cake in my hand.
No. It was
With more personal size than that.
I had a cupcake in my hand.
no.
I had a fairy cake in my hand.
I said, where you're going when you put behind bars, okay?
I had a Snickers in my hand.
Snickers is shit.
I had a Mars in my hand. So excited.
Yes, we all do. You have so many bruises due to our excitement.
What were you doing?
What was I doing?
What were you doing on Mars?
I was licking it.
That explains the radiation coming off of it.
Yeah.
Well, no, what you were doing was, you didn't want to follow the paths laid out in front of you?
I was fly tipping.
No.
I was fly tipping.
This was a crime, significantly more like 90s movie that you'd only see in like, I don't know.
I was fly tipping, but
No.
in low resolution.
You were arrested a week before in New York for doing it.
You didn't look, and then you just went.
Bumming a homeless person.
That's not a crime, that's a privilege. But please be
Heyo.
Heyo.
Fine, I was just like,
littering. I don't think this has legs. He thinks he can just walk out of here or something.
He's playing games with us.
He thinks he can.
Hey,
I don't like playing games.
I'm saying the
I'm
truth.
more of a music person.
Alright.
What were you
So,
doing?
You think you can
I was busking.
No.
I was illegally
No.
busking.
I swear.
You were crossing, walking left and right, not looking where you were going.
I
No,
was
Pat,
just jaywalking, is that
Right.
Yep, okay.
I'll bring the chair.
Alright. We're now going to get straight into our next improv game. This is a game of Let's Make a Date. So for this game, please join me in welcoming to the stage John, Nikhil, Stefan and Felicity. Alright. So, this improv game, we are on a dating show. John here is our guest on the dating show. He is going to be asking his contestants 3 questions to which they must each give an answer, and from those answers he will choose whom he shall take on a blind date. However, each of these 3 contestants shall have a quirk. Stefan shall have a strange relationship to John. Felicity shall have a strange job or occupation. And Nikhil here shall be a character from history or fiction with a twist. We are going to decide what these 3 quirks are, and John must guess what they are. So, we are going to need John once again to leave the room. Okay, once he's gone. He's gone, thank you. Okay, can I get a strange relationship for Stefan to have with John? Pardon?
Doggo.
Ooh, so Stefan is his dog? Or he is a dog and Stefan owns him?
Either way.
Okay, any others?
Taxi driver who took John to here.
Oh, okay, he's his taxi driver? I like you're his dog. Perfect.
That would be too easy. I'll be like a standing up dog.
Yes. Okay, Felicity, can we get a strange job or occupation?
Fisherwoman.
Pardon?
Fisherwoman.
Fisherwoman.
Fireman who sets fires.
You are, I like that, you are a fire personnel who, I'm sorry, I'm sexist. I'm so sorry. Firefighter, thank you, I'm so sorry everyone. You're a firefighter when you set fires. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Okay,
I'll let you off just this time.
yeah. And Nikhil, can we get a strange character from history or fiction with a twist for Nikhil?
Marilyn Manson but makes Christian music.
Marilyn Manson but makes Christian music? We're going with it. Okay, brilliant. Okay. Stefan, what is your strange relationship to John?
This dog.
Felicity, your job?
I'm firefighter, but I start fires.
And Nikhil?
I'm Marilyn Manson, but I make Christian.
Alright, once again on the count of 3, could we all call out John, come back in? 1, 2, 3. John, come back in! Here he goes. Alright, John, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm feeling great. I'm ready to find love.
Brilliant. What is your first question?
What would be a nice romantic getaway? Like if I didn't get ahead of myself, but if we did get married, like a honeymoon spot.
Contestant number 1.
Well, I hope you don't go away somewhere, which means I can't come with you. That would be horrible. You've got to take these, so no planes, maybe a car journey somewhere, maybe somewhere with lots of forests so I can run around, lots of tennis balls, lots of squirrels to chase. Perfect.
Contestant number 2.
So I'm a massive fan of global warming. I think it's not gone far enough. It's freezing today, and it will be if it just hurried up a bit. So I think we should go somewhere in sort of Australian outback or maybe California. I'm a heavy smoker as well, and I really like to smoke in sort of like the really dry areas in California. I think it'd be really romantic. I think it'd be so hot.
And contestant number 3.
Well, I'm just really into my music. Going through dark times, which is why I just love really soulful music. So we could go listen to a very good rock band who believes in the Lord.
And what's your next question?
Oh man, so many. But one thing I do want to ask is like, if you could watch one TV show forever with me, like can we just like watch a TV show? What would it be?
Contestant number 1.
Ooh. I like the Crufts show. Any artist, good luck teaching me to do anything on there. I'll probably just run around and make a mess. But I love the Crufts show.
Contestant number 2.
I really like the old classics, Fireman Sam. Oh, I love it so much. I think Norman Price, underrated character. If I did that show, I would be both characters in one, because I think it is possible.
And contestant number 3.
What I'm into is really dark, but really hopeful. The shows I really like are the Teletubbies, American Horror Story. Both on at the same time.
And finally, what is your final question?
Oh man, if we did settle down, what would be your like dream life? Like tell me the schedule of your perfect day with me.
Contestant number 1.
We wake up when I choose. You take hopefully no cats around. Horrible bastard. Waste of space, fish eating twats. Anyway, routine, walk 3 times a day. Lots of nice meat, none of that cheap crap. Like fresh meat, near butchers nearby. Lots of tennis ball throwing. Gotta get me my exercise, I need my exercise. Don't go anywhere, no holidays except for me.
Contestant number 2.
Well, I'm really into my job. My work is my life. It's also my hobby. So I can't really move away from that. So if I do move away from that, I feel like the industry would really dry up. So then we can't have that happening. So yeah, I think I would be super dedicated to that. But you could always come on a case with me. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think we could set this world ablaze.
Contestant number 3.
First we wake up, you help me with my makeup, straighten my hair, dye it black, eat some baby's fingernails, and I pray you are our Lord and Savior. The life that you've given us. Amen.
Alright, those are your 3 questions. Do you have any idea who any of these people are?
Oh, this is my lovely dog. I want to say contestant number 2 is either like a Bear Grylls type or like a conspiracy theorist.
I'm not gonna lie, you're quite cold. Maybe you could get warmer.
You're quite vague. Oh
The thing
man.
is, I think you would be such a great couple. I feel like we'll just, you know, we'll set the place on fire. Like,
Are you like a serial arsonist? How is that similar to Bear Grylls?
I'm more responsible than that, you know. I'm a responsible arsonist. No.
You've seen the YouTube video, Firefighters in Reverse. It's very funny.
Are you? So you like to? Is your job just? Are you like a Fahrenheit 451 type of person?
We're getting very close. So she is a regular job, but with a twist that you mentioned very recently.
A firefighter conspiracist.
Yes, you're so close. You just said half of it.
A Republican.
Firefighter, but
Starts fires.
And finally,
You are a little question. You are a question wrapped in a bow. No, I want to say, you are Elvis if he went religious.
ooh, the second half is pretty good. However, not Elvis. It's somebody in quite dark music, heavy metal maybe.
Kiss.
Oh, we've got the makeup right.
Aerosmith.
Keep coming, keep them coming.
Iron Maiden.
Keep them going. It's just one person.
Paul McCartney.
To be honest, I don't know who I am either.
No, I get it. It's a self-discovery thing. I get it. You're trying to discover. I am too.
You can call me MM.
You're Eminem?
No, those are the initials.
Michael? No, wait, that's the Jackson.
Michael McIntyre, yes.
A heavy metal musician whose initials are MM. Long hair, makeup. First name is the same as a famous 1950s supermodel.
Macklemore? You want to pump some tags now?
Would you like to marry him? That was it. Shall we just give it to him?
Yes!
He's Marilyn Manson, but
But you didn't kill anyone. You're religious. I know.
Oh, wait,
Oh, I thought you said Charlie Manson. My bad. Charlie Manson, also a singer.
but
Religious.
yes. Very well done, John. Now, the final question. Whom are you taking on a date?
Well, you're a man's best friend. So, I don't think so. I'm going to have to go with Marilyn Manson over here.
Great! Thank you, everybody. Oh, grand. Okay. Let's check the score. 1-all. But I'm not saying who it's to. Anyway, guys, we've just got one more act of this first half. It's another stand-up routine. lovely bloke, please join me in welcoming to the stage Mr. Iestyn Jones.
Thank you very much. Hello everyone, it's nice to be here. Thank you. My name's Iestyn. I'm from Wales, which means that my mum's her own cousin and my dad's a goat. I've got 9 million toes on my left foot and an eyeball for a bell end. It's true. I saw a car the other day. I thought, why is that tractor a dwarf? So to Google it, I had to take my cock out of the sheep, sing all the way home. And when I got there, I realised the internet had yet to reach my hometown of So, that's a joke, by the way. I live in the next town over. Because where I'm actually from is That's my hometown. It's not as good as it sounds. It's a shithole, okay? Because it's got a co-op, a train station, the 9th highest crime rate in the UK. And even with the crime, it's shit crime. It's not good crime. You know? Because you know how like every good city has like a serial killer? You know what I mean? You know, like Birmingham had, what was he called? Can't remember. Birmingham had a bloke. And then Ipswich had a guy called Steve Wright, and then London, of course, had Matt Hancock. But my hometown, the closest we've gotten to a serial killer is just after lockdown. We had a flasher. And he wasn't even a good flasher. That's the worst of it. He wasn't like going to go to the effort of jumping from behind guards, going like raw sausage. He wasn't one of those kind of flashers. He would stand on a flyover, you know, traffic going under him, just with his kimono open, pissing into traffic. That was his shtick. It wasn't good flashing. He was kind of like Batman on a bender, really. You know what I mean? It was kind of. Frankly, he wasn't the criminal our village needed, but the criminal our village deserved. But no, because crime's been shit in my hometown for years, and it's really quite bad, because it used to be good. Back in the 90s, my God, you'd have written home about that. I remember my neighbour's TV got nicked while he was still in that house, which I think is perfect crime. You couldn't beat that as a crime, because you can't phone the police about that, you can't phone insurance. Imagine that phone call. All right, Mr. Jones, I was just checking, where were you at the time of the crime? I was having a wank in the other room. You know, you can't complain about that. But yeah, no, it's kind of, but it's gone to shit now. The whole crime thing's gone to shit. Like a couple of years ago, my primary school got burgled. And the burglars, you know, Jimmy the Lock's gone into the school and they nicked a box of yogurt and a yo-yo, and that was it. That is genuinely true. That's all they took. And it's like, put a bit of effort in. When you're gonna burgle somewhere, you're risking jail time, you know? And you're risking jail time for a box of fruits. You go to prison, right? They'll rip your head off and fuck your guts out, right? You go for a box of fruits. If you're gonna break it, take the ceiling, take something. You know what I mean? But yeah, but it's. I think I've been thinking about it. I think the most successful criminal in my hometown in the past, probably in the 21st century, was a guy who used to walk around or drive around my village in a white van kidnapping kids. This is true. I heard about it on the school field, and this one guy told another kid. He was like, "Oh, have you heard about a guy driving around in a white van kidnapping kids?" Right? And the kid he told, right, so it's got didn't leave the house alone for 8 years. 8 years? You could age a good cheese in 8 years, you know what I mean? Like 8 years and you're not leaving the house without your mam in hand. That's crazy, and that shows how successful he was. This guy gave that kid the willies for 8 years. Second of all, he never got caught. And third of all, he did all of this without ever existing. Right? Our greatest criminal wasn't real! That is the state of crime and shit crime. It's a hellscape down there. But I'm not losing hope, I've got to say. I sound frustrated, but I'm not losing it, because it's been very nice. And I don't know if anyone else agrees with me, but there's nothing quite like watching like the youths really getting involved in crime, you know? Gives you hope for the future, you know? Like you see them, they all gather with each other in big gangs, all with like leather caps and hoodies, gonna nick a curly whirly from the lawn dish, you know? You're thinking, yes, you go get them. You know, it's kind of like watching like the Cub Scouts, only the criminal skills are applicable to the real world. Because I remember being on a school bus when I was in school. I don't just get on school buses. I'm not that kind of guy. But I remember being on a school bus and at school, and I could hear these two kids bickering in the back of the bus, and it was kind of like typical kind of, your mum's a bitch, or your dad's a twat, or your dog's a twat. Don't call my dog a bitch, you twat. That kind of thing. But so they were having that kind of argument. But what they did was, because they'd been, dabbling in criminal activity, they knew what assault was. So they started shoving each other and having a shoving competition. That was shoving contest back and forth at each other, really having a go. And that was because they knew they applied their criminal skills to real life. So they're having a shoving match like that, and they were having a go. And then this one kid was much bigger than the other. He was like shaped like a beluga, right? He was massive bloke. And the smaller kid was thinking, right, I'm not going to beat him in this shoving match, but what I do know is voluntary manslaughter. So he shoved the kid against the window, and this is genuinely true. The window just went, and the kid, the beluga, and the window just fell out of the bus. Right, the bus was doing 50 on an A road, right? This kid went tobogganing through the grass range. I've never seen anything like it. And the bus stopped, and everyone kind of looked over, and they just watched as this massive kid, just got up, brushed himself off, right? And he didn't use any criminal knowledge here, and he didn't use any Cub Scouting knowledge here. He just used the knowledge of being a fucking legend. He got back on the bus, he just fell out of. And what a power move that is! Just to walk up the door and rap on it, and having the bus driver just open the door. That's it. Balls. But it's been quite interesting of late, because a lot of the boomers of my hometown have been complaining, going, oh, why are all the kids getting involved in crime? Why are they, it's child delinquency, I'm just like, because there's jack shit to do in my hometown, right? Down my Brook Wingate, you've got jack shit to do, come to see the across, right? Has a supermarket and a train station, and that's it. When I was young, I used to go with my mates to Co-op just to look at something that wasn't a puddle. Right, that's the kind of state of affairs we're in. And it was terrible on a Sunday, because the shuts at 4. So we turned up there, shut us down, like, what are you going to do? But what we luckily had was a chippy. Now the chippy kind of functioned like a dilapidated fairground ride. Because it's a bit like, it reminds me of like, that big Ferris wheel in Chernobyl? And you kind of look at it, and you're thinking, I'll look at it, but I don't want to get involved. Because, to give you an idea what this chick is like, it's run by a woman called Sheila, and she's 80 years old, right? And she cooks, no hairnet, and she's got a hell of a perm on her as well. So she's already got that going. And as you walk through the door, there's a certificate hanging on the wall, and it's a food hygiene certificate from 1996, which, to give that time context, right? When that was awarded, Gary Glitter was still considered an affable bloke. Right? That is the time we're talking here. And she functions, when she walks around the kitchen, it is a time warp in there. Because you go in and the decor is old, but also, if you ever visit, take a tent, pitch it. Because you'll be there for hours. Because she moves around the kitchen like like those very complicated cuckoo clocks, where it goes and then these little people come out of doors and start dancing. Are we kind of, do people not know? There's some nods, but she kind of does that. So she'll kind of like, you walk through the door, and then she'll kind of spot you, and then she'll kind of just go. What do you want? Fish and chips. And then turns the deep fat fryer on at the mains. So you've got to wait for it to heat up. But I actually got a phone call a couple of years ago. I was in uni at the time. And got a phone call. Sorry, I'm getting choked up. Because got a phone call, it's true. My mate phoned me up and he goes, Iestyn, got bad news, mate. It's Sheila, she's passed away. Now, I know it's morally reprehensible to get excited over a funeral. However, I heard rumours that they were going to bury her in a big polystyrene box. They were. I was ready for it. Well, I say to Berry, they were just going to leave her open on a bench and wait for a big seagull to come take her out of it. But I was there, I was ready for it, rented a suit, got my train ticket, I was ready, and then the next day I got another phone call. Same mate, yesterday. Bad news. It's Sheila. She's still alive. I got some sick bastard that started the rumour that Sheila died. And oddly enough, it's not the worst thing that's ever happened to Sheila. Because the worst thing that ever happened to Sheila was back in the 90s when crime was like good stuff. And basically Sheila had shortchanged this bloke for his fish and chips. And the bloke got so pissed off that he walked out the shop and he came back and he threw a bag of flour, a carton of eggs and a salt shaker into her face. It's true, and both of them had to go to court for assault of battery charges! Way! Assault of battery charges! Imagine if that was the last joke of my set. Thanks.
Alright, okay, we have come to the end of the first half. It is now the interval. So we're going to take a 15-minute break. However, during the interval, you can grab a drink and do whatever you like. However, we will have, on this table here, we shall have a load of little bits of paper. And we shall also have some pens, which shall arrive there in a moment. And those are for a game in which we shall have a free-form improv scene where two improvisers shall make up the scene, but they shall, at periodic intervals, pull out a piece of paper and read it to make part of their line, and those lines will need to be worked into the scene. So yes, so that's the game. So the paper will be here. You can write any random thing you want on the bits of paper, long or short. So yes, please do write some pieces, and we shall see you at 2:45. Thank you. Hello. Hello. Let me just, I think the mic's not turned on. Sorry, everybody. There we are. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, brilliant.
Do that on purpose.
No. Okay, so yeah, welcome back to the second half. Thanks everyone for all your prompts. So yeah, but you start with me for another few rounds of jokes. So so I must say, when I was writing this material, when I was writing these jokes, I couldn't think what to write. But then I thought, oh, I know. I'll just talk about the things I hate in the world. Just talk about the things I hate. But then I remembered what my nan said to me. John, it's not nice to just talk about yourself the whole time. You know? Yeah, that's one of her sayings, you know. That's one of her sayings. You get all sorts of sayings. You get people say, if somebody's your enemy, they say, oh, they wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire. Now, I think that's interesting because that implies that a good friend is the kind of friend who, if they did see you on fire, the first thing they would do is go on you. But, yeah, you get people saying all sorts of things to you. You get people saying that tomatoes, right, they're not a vegetable, they're a fruit. And that's very interesting. And you also get people say bananas, they're a berry. It's true, it's true. Or, you even get some people say that bananas, they're actually a herb. It's all fascinating stuff. It's fascinating. So I went on Google. I did some research of my own, and I looked up the botanical differences between the different foodstuffs. And, you know, I looked at the history of the categorization of various fruits, vegetables, plants. And I found that no one gives a shit. So, yeah, it's all very interesting. Celebrity crushes. We've all got one. I've got quite a generic white boy celebrity crush. She's an actress. She played in Harry Potter. That's right, Maggie Smith. She's 87, and those 8 films must have paid well. Wife material. Do you ever go to the aquarium and you see all these tanks of water, and then there's just one fucking empty one? Like, no fucking water, just like a snake in the bottom. It's like, this is a shit eel, you know? They're building an aquarium in Kensington, London. All the water is Evian. I'm thinking of writing a novel. I've got some ideas for the title of the novel. Let me read them out to you now. Here we go. Russian King Arthur. So instead of putting a sword out of a stone, it's a Kalashnikov assault rifle. North Korean King Arthur. So instead of putting a sword out of a stone, it's an intercontinental ballistic missile. German King Arthur. So instead of putting a sword out of a stone, it's a BMW X5. Swedish King Arthur. So instead of putting a sword out of a stone, it's an extremely high standard of living and a very strong currency against the US dollar. Anyway, that's me so far. So now we are going into our next act of the evening. It is another improv game. It is the game of Whose Line with all of your lovely prompts. And so if you could please join me in welcoming to the stage Iestyn and Stefan. Yeah, just take a handful.
No, those are empty. Stefan, you dozy man.
Sorry. We might be able to play 2 rounds of this, so yes, but yeah, take as many as you can. Grand. Okie dokie. Right, so these.
Oh no! No, you stay over there. Stay over there. 2 meters. 2 meters. Why? Because I looked into a crystal ball the other night. You stand by that wall right there.
Right, very scientific there.
Yeah.
About as scientific as I love a man in a uniform. No, I said I love a man in a uniform.
Oh, you love a man in a uniform. Well, it's funny that I'm in my uniform today. Isn't that great?
Kanye West, he's only misunderstood.
Yeah, he is. Listen, this is not covering the problem that we have at hand, which is Harry Kane's long nose. It's just too bloody long. And the problem you've got with this virus knocking about, right? He's got too much spreadage. Because the nostrils are massive.
Why don't we put Harry Kane in quarantine?
We could, or we could just take the nose away.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Stay over there, stay over there.
But I'm Batman.
No, you're not Batman! You're Greg from down the road, you're a fellow scientist. Not only are you a fellow scientist, right? But you look like a Cheeto.
I don't know, I think I look more like a bath of jelly babies.
You don't look like a bath of jelly babies, you look like I lick bums.
Right.
Unseen! Alright. We could possibly play another game of Whose Line. Give us a cheer if you want to hear another game.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh, brilliant. So we could do the same improvisers, or we could do 2 other improvisers. What do we think, guys?
Or someone from the audience.
Oh, someone from the audience? Anyone wants to give it a go? Okay. Fair enough.
Catwoman. Lady in the white cup.
Alright, John, do you want to do one?
Go on, John. Sure.
Anyone else? George, coming up. Oh, you think you handle the prompts already?
Is that all of them? Other than the ones that I used. There's one left.
Yeah, I got it.
There you go.
Those ones with stuff written on them.
Hey, there's stuff. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. So can I get for a prompt for this scene, can I get a relationship for George and John to have?
Stop it.
Monster and creator.
Monster and creator?
Mormon and the passerby.
Ooh, Mormon and passerby.
Parole officer and convict.
Parole officer and convict. Ooh, I like parole officer and convict. Okay, take it away, guys.
Yeah.
Just get the key.
No. As a parole officer, I need you to stay in those for at least another 10 minutes. I don't trust you. It's ever since the last time you thought monogamy is constraining. It was too much. It was.
I know, but do they have to be pink and fluffy?
Yeah, I mean, it's all I had in the back seat, you know.
I much prefer the trick-or-treating.
The issue is that you're
My
trying to.
hands were free and that was the problem.
Whoa, he just broke out of his handcuffs. Holy crap, Barry chuckle over here. Why are you just a barrel of laughs? Well, you know what, as a parole officer, I say you stop. Just stop with the crimes.
Look, all I did was... Avada Kedavra? if I'm guilty, then that's a crime, lock me up.
Yeah.
You already have.
You're a high time. I'll give you 5 minutes of free time. Because what I think about you is that involuntary manslaughter, it's not a crime, it's not bad enough.
That wasn't me, that was Jim.
Oh, yeah, fine, that's what they all say. Oh, it wasn't me, it was Jim, you know?
But Jim, when he was inside, he got into a hell of a lot of rabid gummy there.
Rabid gummies.
So much of it.
And he
He
heard.
was cuffed everywhere.
And art thou a freak show?
It was.
There was a freak show.
I never freaked out. And the worst thing was, I was expecting sausage and mash for dinner that night, but all I got was a cold portion of 01189998811.
That's scene! Alright. Okay, we are going to go into our next act of the evening. We've got another stand-up routine for you all tonight. So, if you would please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Tom Litherland.
How's everyone doing? That's still probably the worst folded Who's Line prompt for Stefan. So I thought I could start by reading this out. I'm not the hero Gotham deserves. That's correct, I'm not. Anyway, I'm Tom and I think I'm really boring. Which is a very stereotypical way to start a stand-up set. There's a whole demographic of comedians who come onto the stage and say, I am the most boring person in the world. And then tell a long stream of stories that either make them just out to be a plain liar, or make you, the audience, want to call counter-terror police. But I think I'm different, because I am so boring, I have evidence to prove how uninteresting I am. And that's that in secondary school, or for any Americans in the audience, secondary school, there's at least one, the metric for the most interesting person was the one with the most followers on social media. And where did I come in this totally fair and legitimate ranking system? I didn't even qualify, because I never had any social media until I was 17. I've always been quite averse to social media. I just don't like the idea of sharing every little thing that happens in your life. Mostly because very little happens in my life. I got an app called Be Real a few weeks ago, which makes you take a photo of what you're up to at a random point each day and then share it with your friends. And because of that, I'm having to go out of my way to make myself seem more interesting. I think last Sunday I spent the evening doing 4 hours of work I didn't want to do, because I didn't want to share the fact that before that I was watching a 2-hour video about the Roblox oof sound effect. But one thing I hate about social media is the concept of flexing, as in like showing off things that no one else actually gives a shit about. And this started when a close friend of mine showed me the best flex I've ever heard in my life. He came running up to me one day at school and was like, Tom, I did the coolest thing ever yesterday. I drove a car. And I was like, tell me more. To explain, it's like, yeah, I went to the cinema with my dad yesterday, right? And when we got out, someone parked next to us. And my dad couldn't fit in through the gap to get the car out. So I had to squeeze in there, reverse the car out so my dad could get in and drive us home. At which point I brought him in close, leaned in and was like, mate, so you drove a car yesterday, right? Yeah. You drove a car backwards yesterday. Yeah. Okay. You drove a car backwards 2 meters yesterday. Yeah. An automatic car? Yeah. How old are you? 18? When did you pass your test? 3 months ago. I'm very good at ruining my friends' days. But another thing I don't like about social media is the fact that there's sort of this need for everything to have its own account. And this is sort of a scale that peaks at inanimate objects with Twitter feeds. Why does Stonehenge need a Twitter account? Because it has one. Why? Like, is there a group of mega sad people out there, scientific term, who need to know down to the second when Stonehenge is solved, and they just can't wait 5 minutes for the BBC breaking alert? Like, because that's what Twitter's for, is like fast updates, seeing news happen in real time, and Stonehenge is just a bunch of stones sitting on a hill doing absolutely fuck all. Are these people just out there doing their day, doing normal, casual things, and suddenly their phone goes off and like, has it been solved? No, someone's just sent me a picture of a cat. So they go back to their lives, doing whatever the fuck these weird people do. And their phone goes off again, it's like, how about now? For God's sake. Uncle Steve retweeted something racist again? So they go back to their frankly weird lives if they care this much about Stonehenge. Their phone goes off again. 3rd time's the charm. Elon Musk has tweeted that he is not a neo-Nazi, but he has also unblocked 20 right-wing fascists. At this point I was thinking 2 things. Firstly, Elon Musk is a cunt. Secondly, what does this account fucking post? Like, I was just sitting there in my room, alone, as ever, wondering, what could they actually post? And I started thinking about it even more. I was like, what if the account is run by the Stones themselves? And they tweet their thoughts? A bit like Big Brother, but it's for a load of big rocks, and it's been running for 3,500 years. So I thought, what could the thoughts of some Stones be? So I made some examples up. Like, Stone 26 is quite jealous of Stone 7. Because Stone 7 was just discovered to be upside down. And Stone 26 has been eating the dirt for 500 years. Stone 69 is feeling a bit mixed at the moment. It's just come off its 12-year high of most popular Stone award. But it's also, you know, getting a bit thin at each end. Erosion. Stone 42 is quite angry this morning, and has been for the last 2,500 years, when it was rudely nicked from a field in Wales and taken all the way to a different field in England. It's reading the news about the Elgin marbles like a migrant in Calais, waiting to see whether they're going to be let in or whether they're going to be sent to Manston concentration camp. Oh, I think that's where Jesus would have ended up. But I've never actually looked at Stonehenge Twitter account, because I know what I found is going to be so disappointing, it's just going to make me sad. So I thought I'll find some other national monuments with Twitter feeds, which is a search that ended with the Twitter account of the Eiffel Tower. And now I get why these things have social media accounts. I get that these like big monuments need to attract visitors, they need to let people know when they're open, let people know what events are going on, let everybody know that they were sad when the Queen died. I get it. But none of that fucking explains why the Eiffel Tower tweets in first person. Last week, at La Tour Eiffel. Hashtag, did you know I open every day of the week, including Tuesdays? I now don't want to visit the Eiffel Tower on a Tuesday. What's so special about Tuesday? What happened on a Tuesday, France? They didn't tell me, so I googled it. Turns out in France, Tuesday is National Strike Day or something like that. They have a whole day for that over there. If Mick Lynch found out, he'd lose his hair. Oh wait, never mind. But what this means is, because they were proud about this, they're proud, the Eiffel Tower is proud it's open on Tuesday, so you hear it, you've heard it here first guys, the Eiffel Tower is a fucking scam. But anyway, I was like, the other thing they tweet is, they people who visited, which I assume hasn't visited. I don't know why they retweet them. But I thought I'd share with you some of my favourite examples of that. Last week they tweeted, "Hi Gary, glad to see you enjoyed our visit. I hope you enjoyed climbing up inside of me. I hope you got a good view." A few weeks ago, "Thanks at Le Tour Eiffel restaurant for that unexpected delivery of escargot. I was starving." And a bit more recently, hey, shady guy with the balaclava. "I'm glad you enjoyed your very speedy visit, but just to let you know, you left your bag in one of my lifts. Please come collect soon." But there's one thing that's worse than inanimate objects with Twitter accounts, and that is celebrities with social media. And I thought I'd demonstrate that with just one account, and just the description of this one account, because that's all that's needed to display the madness. Just to preface it, it's a Twitter account, and I'll leave the name till the end for a bit of pointless suspense. Anyway, location. Everywhere and nowhere. Not particularly specific, but technically not wrong, I can't argue with it. Followers, 2.5 million. Not a small celebrity, but you know, come on, try harder. Following, 0. 0. Nil. Fuck all, nobody. Now I know some social media seems like an echo chamber where everyone's like, the views you see is just the same as your own, but imagine opening Twitter and the only thing you see is yourself. I'd go mad, and I think that may explain the description, which I've written down because you can't make this shit up. R&R star, godlike, Rasta, icon, legend, biblical, omnipresent, spiritual, majestical, celestial, optimistic, Buddhist, Jedi. Now that's a lot. This man is claimed to be a member of 4 different religions, including Jediism. He's also claimed to be a fucking celestial entity. This guy is just like, whoa, whoa. But don't worry, because he is also approachable. Zen. A lover. And to top it all off, humble. Who is this man? Liam Gallagher. I told you it was pointless suspense. I looked him up and he's currently making a documentary and calling people involved with cancel culture fucking swears. You know, after all that, I'm happy being boring. Thank you all.
Alright, we're going to get into our last act of tonight. We've trained you well. So, this is a game of party quirks, and for this game I need, please join me in welcoming Felicity, Iestyn, Jon, and Nikhil. Okay, so in this game, Iestyn here is hosting a party. However, his guests, who are going to arrive one by one, are each they each have a certain quirk about them. They each have a quirk. It can be any quirk. However, Iestyn's not going to know what that quirk is for each of them. As the party goes on, he's going to be trying to guess what the quirks are. So while we, as an audience, are deciding what the quirks are going to be, we need Iestyn to leave the room. Okie dokie. Right, firstly, can I have a quirk for Jon? Oh, thank you, yes. Can I have a quirk for Jon?
He's a cartoon character.
Cartoon character? He's a cartoon character. Okie dokie. Jon, you're a cartoon character. Any particular cartoon character?
Dennis the Menace.
Dennis the Menace?
You think he's not going to call that, is he? He's Yankee. The Animaniacs. Charlie Brown?
Popeye. Shaggy.
What was that? Popeye.
I want to know who that is, yeah.
Do you know any of these?
I know Popeye.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Do we think Iestyn will know Popeye?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. Not Popeye. Can we get a quirk for Felicity?
Has to speak in rhyme.
Has to speak in rhyme.
Hallucinating that there's someone behind her.
Oh, always thinks there's someone behind her. Thinks in rhyme. speaks in rhymes.
I think she's in a panto.
Thinks she's in a panto. I'm going to go with. I like think she's in a panto.
Yeah. Oh no, she is.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just that was a hard one. And finally, can I get a quote for Nikhil?
Suddenly attracted to somebody when they put their hands in their pockets.
Yes. Whenever somebody puts their hands near their pockets, you suddenly get turned on.
This is everyone in the room or just on the stage?
Just on the stage, okay. So, John, what's your quote?
Popeye.
Felicity?
I think I'm in a panto.
Nikhil?
I'm incredibly attracted to anyone with my hands in my pockets.
Fantastic. So, guys, if you guys could just be over there, so then you can enter the party. So now we just need Iestyn to come and start hosting his party. So on the count of 3, if we could all call Iestyn, come back in. 1, 2, 3.
Yes!
Come back in! Whoa! Take it away, Iestyn.
I've been really looking forward to my 145th birthday. All the time. I do hope the prostitutes turn up. Let me see if the cakes are ready. Yeah, there they are. They're nice there. Yeah, well, where the fuck are these people? Yeah, come in. Let yourself in.
She blows me. She's got all the 7 C's.
You're not the prostitute, but I can be. I hired Busty Betty, I didn't hire.
No, I only have my eye on olive oil, you know. Extra virgin.
Why is Popeye here? Alright, come in. You're not that Popeye bastard, are you?
No, I'm nothing weird like that. Just a very normal person. Have a normal party.
Oh, okay. Well, are you just like a basic person like that? Just very
I mean, I've been called a basic bitch before, but...
Oh, well, that's alright. Would you like a cake, Mr. Basic Bitch?
Is it, what flavour is it?
Vanilla.
Vanilla, that's basic, I'll start really nice.
Oh, come in, let yourself in. I can't leave you done.
Hello everybody. How are you doing?
Are you in a kids' TV show or something? What's it?
Hey, boys and girls, not quite there.
Oh, you're not a Punch and Judy person, are you? You're not like a, are you a kids' performance?
Not quite, no.
Right, listen, stop! This is my 145th birthday, right? And there's sexual tension going on here. And I don't like this is about me. I'm 145.
Have we organised a surprise for him coming later?
Yeah.
Have we organised a surprise for him?
Are you breaking fourth wall? Is that what this is all about?
No, I'm not edgy enough to be Fleabag.
Oh, are you Mr. Trumbull? Oh, are you? So what do you think of that cupcake, anyways?
It was alright, you know. It's just a cupcake. I mean, like, it was interesting genes you have there.
I've got them from my great grandson.
It's quite big.
Oh no,
Quite
you
large
didn't.
pockets. Put your hands in there. Yeah, it's a big pocket.
Put it in there. Well, thank you very much. You've got nice hands. Do you moisturise?
Regularly.
Aloe vera, is that it? Do you like aloe vera?
Oh no, I don't.
No aloe vera.
Oh, yes, you do.
It's a pantomime, is that it? Do you like the pockets? Do you keep touching yourself up?
Very tight pockets I have.
Are you? Oh, it's got to be sexy.
So sorry, I'm just grabbing a party favor because this is such a good party.
What the fuck? Are you attracted to pockets? pockets? Do you find pockets sexy?
Yes,
Do you fuck a pocket?
I really like when people put something in their pockets.
Do you like it when people put hands in their pockets?
Well, everybody, let's give them another round of applause. Oh, brilliant. Okay, and that is it for the evening, guys. Thank you all so much for coming. We've been the Lancaster University Comedy Institute. I may as well say, for the benefit of any students in the audience, if you would like to come down, just check our social media, yeah, that's where all our meetings are. Also, we have a play, a comedy play, that is taking place this Monday. Doors open at 7:15, show starts at 7:30, correct? Yeah, brilliant. It's on campus at Lancaster University in the Margaret Bell Lecture Theatre. You can check our socials for all the details. It's about children's TV characters, but they've grown old and live in our world now. So it's very fun. It's going to be really good. I believe the price is £3. Yeah, so yes, come on down to that if you'd like. So yes, thank you so much for coming. Have a good night.